Hi, I'm Judy Green and welcome to NatChat. Today we're actually on location and we are at the Victorian Railways Antiques. And we have a great show coming up. My very special guest is LeighSheehan. He's the producer, director, so I'd like to welcome him to the show. So hi Leigh, welcome.
Hi Judy, great to be here.
So Leigh, I know last time you were on NatChat, you just finished a movie, I think, Under the Red Moon. So I'd like to know where that is now.
Yeah, we finished that film sometime last year, and it's been out being marketed around, and the distributors actually spoke with them just a couple of weeks ago, and they tell me that it comes out in May in Europe first. I'm not sure when an Australian release will be out, but so maybe it's this super successful hit in Europe, and it will drive the Australian market. Yep. And that'd be really interesting. That'd be kind of fun.
Because what people don't realise, the movie is finished and then it's up to the distributors and sort of getting word out and things like that. So it's always fingers crossed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very, I think it's probably the most important part of, one of the most important parts of a movie is the marketing of that film. And in a lot of cases in this country, films are made in the hope that they're going to get marketed, and that's not always the case. There's a lot of movies made that just never see the light of day because of that kind of thinking.
That's right.
We've just finished shooting a film which had the reverse of that thinking, where we went to the distributors first and said, here's a movie, are you interested? And we worked in tandem with them.
And what is that movie? What is the name
It's a film
of that?
called Six Plots. It's a thriller, and we shot it here in Melbourne. We've just finished shooting, and we're now in post-production with that film.
So it seems like you're on a bit of a roll.
Yes, it's very unusual to have done 2 movies in just 2 years.
Yeah.
That's like unheard of. But we were very lucky with this project in that I was able to talk to some financiers, a friend of mine, and he really believed in the project. And then he put together what I consider one of the best distribution deals for an Australian film that's been done. And they'll probably write the book about this later on. But Neil, who was the EP on this film, put all the right elements in place before we actually went into production to make sure there would be an audience for this movie and that this film would be out and seen by people. Because
another thing people don't realise, because I've known you, Richard, and I've known you for many, many years, and we've had so many projects, we've tried to get them up. It's, you know, we have a saying, you just keep throwing things at the wall and hope something sticks. So it's just, what do you think? Is it just perseverance or it's timing? What do you think?
It's certainly perseverance, and it's finding the right projects. And look, as you say, Richard and I and yourself, you've seen all the different projects that we've worked with, and there have been international projects, and you've seen how close we get to them, where we've actually had people say, at one stage we were about to do a 20-part television series, and we had something like a $23 million budget, and that money, as we were told, was actually like in the bank ready to roll. So we were all going, yay. And that took a long time to get to that stage, but we were all kind of like, wow, that's fantastic. But then it just turned around like overnight, and all of a sudden that project is gone. So you've got to be able to just pick yourself up again and go, okay, I didn't get it that time, I'll get it next time. And that's what we've kind of done. And with any of the things that we've done, and Richard and I have been fortunate enough to be able to work on projects and get people in from overseas. We were working with a project with Richard and Lance Henriksen, and it was great because I had both Richard and Lance to work with on the script and get their views on the script and things like that. But then again, you know, that project was in development. It's now in a hiatus. It's held up somewhere, and who knows what will happen with it. But you've just got to be able to look for the right projects. Probably have a number of projects at any one time that you're working on, and pushing different levers to make that one go and this one go.
So
and talk to the right people.
Six Plots, what stage of post is it at now?
We're actually just about to show the first cut to the distributors and the producers this coming week. So it's kind of like a nervous stage for us, because we're sitting there going, we're cutting it, and we're going, well, let's just keep making it better and better and better. And what we have been doing, which I think is a really important process in post-production, and certainly in editing, is the music. So what we do is proxy music. It's not the score that will be in the film, but it gives a sense in what drives the scenes, because you know, easily 50% of what you perceive in a scene is driven by music. Certainly the emotional pitch is certainly driven by the music and enhanced by the performance, or you know, it can be vice versa. So we spent a lot of time just putting proxy music in, proxy sound effects, because as a rough cut, people who haven't seen it, it's fairly raw. It's the actors as they were shot on the day, the scenes have then cut together. But in a lot of cases there's glitchy sound underneath, or there's no sound effects of a gun or something going off, or a door slamming, and it's not colour graded, so it's really rough. So, you know, you've got to...
Now there's a lot to it, and where do you hope to have your, say, first screening? Do you want to open in Australia first, ideal, or overseas somewhere?
There is a very tight plan for this movie. We have Rialto Entertainment on board, and they're handling the Australian release.
Okay.
And it will go out fairly wide.
Right.
And that is set for later in this year, so like October, as I understand. So we're aiming to have the film ready for that. And then it goes overseas. It actually goes overseas in the next week or so with a promo to show the internationals what we've done, and just and they're aware of it, and just keep them up to date. And I guess what they will do is look at how it works here.
Yeah, no, great. Excuse me. Leigh, we're just going to go for a quick break. So stay with us on NatChat. After the break, I'll be back with Leigh and we'll talk more about films and the film industry.